Hi, so my name's Michelle, and as you can see, I have an NJ tube. I'm feeding through this at the moment because I've got gastroparesis and I've not been able to eat for about 6 months or take enough liquid in. And when I was told that the next step in my treatment was to support me nutritionally with an NJ tube, it did make a lot of sense, but it was really quite daunting. I'd never had a feeding tube before, and it sounded terrifying. So I thought, now I'm feeling a lot better. I would do a couple of videos just to put it out there for anyone else who might be getting one. And I thought, yeah, just a few everyday things. So I'll talk a little bit about getting the tube in, and then I'll just show you how I do a flush of the tube. So getting the tube in, I live in the UK. I'm Australian, if the accent's fooling you there, but I live in the UK and they do it via endoscopy here. An endoscopy here is done under sedation. It doesn't hurt. It is unpleasant. It feels like you want to gag and burp a lot, but it's over and done with super quick. So it's not really a procedure that you need to be particularly worried about. It's no pain, just a few minutes of unpleasantness. They pop it down. Mine goes past my stomach into my small bowel, and they bring it out through your mouth. And they use another tool to pop down your nose, kind of get it out your mouth and bring it back up through. And that bit of the procedure is less than a minute, and once again, it's a bit unpleasant, but it doesn't really hurt. So getting the tube in was reasonably uneventful, which is great. Then they teach you how to feed with it, and I'd like to do another video to show you how I set up a feed and things like that. And then the other thing you need to do is you need to do a flush. So first things first, I am not a medical professional. I'm not medically trained. So if you've been shown anything different by your team, please listen to the professionals. This video is just more to let people see, the day-to-day of it, and take away kind of some of that, guesswork before you get it done. So you get these syringes, and I'm doing 50 ml flushes, and this, you need to change it daily. So you get a fresh one daily. And I do want to show you a little trick one of the nurses showed me when my tube blocked. Now I was doing my flushes regularly, but I had it block mid-feed, and she was showing me just a cool trick with when you flush to try and get rid of some blockages. So normally you're going to do it quite slowly into you, and you can see that's not a lot of pressure. It's not going to clear a lot out the way. So what she showed me to do was a little stop-start technique. And you can already see that's going to be so much more effective at clearing something out, and it's not too uncomfortable. So to do your flush, you'll normally have a little bit of trapped air there. So what I do is just pop up a bit more air in, because it somehow makes it easier to get out. Angle it so that anything coming up is going to be air, not water first. And then squeeze that out. This has a little cap on it. It's just a screw top. Super easy. And the syringe is a screw top as well, and just screws straight in. So then all I do is just that little stop start, and you do this every 4 to 6 hours, just to keep yourself hydrated, because you're probably not going to be drinking a lot of water if you're in this situation, and keep the tube clean inside. When you're doing it, you'll feel cold here, and you'll also feel cold in the back of your throat, and it makes you want to swallow. It's really quite a strange little feeling. Sometimes I can feel it right down here, but most of the time it's alright, as long as you don't do it too quick, because then that can get uncomfortable. As far as the comfort of the tube itself, when you first get it, it is quite uncomfortable. Oh, you can see I've dripped some water. If you're wearing something you don't want to drip on, just put a little towel underneath. Yeah, when you first get the tube, it is quite uncomfortable. That kind of spray you can use to numb your throat's gonna be your best friend. But it's just the first few days, and then you get completely used to it and you can't feel it anymore. One of my doctors described it quite well. They said it's like when you first wear a wedding ring. You kind of feel it and play with it all the time, but then eventually you just forget it's even there. And it is really like that. So when I first got mine, I hated it for the first day or two. Yeah, I couldn't really move my neck or my head side to side because it just, yeah, you felt like you're going to gag. But it really goes away quite quickly, and the payoff is you're getting nutrition finally, and I feel so much better for that. It's just increased my health like you wouldn't believe. So I've had mine for about a month now, and yeah, my strength is certainly coming back. So anyways, I hope you found that helpful, and yeah, I wish you good health and best of luck with your tube if you're getting one. And yeah, I hope you find it as helpful as I have so far. If you've got any questions or you want to see anything, pop it in the comments. I'm going to try and do a few little videos like putting a feed on or changing the tape and things like that. So yeah, just let me know.